Warning: Gory Story Time is a horror movie review show with a 13-year-old host. So, if you are not amused by the idea of a child describing R-rated graphic scenes of violence and death, or do not want movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s spoiled, this may not be the show for you. Parental guidance is suggested.
Yeah, so guide your parents out of the room so we can have some fun. Welcome to Gory Story Time. I'm your host, JT.
And I'm his co-host, I'm Craig. And today we're going to do the classic from 1979, making it 1 year younger than me,
Alien.
Alien by Ridley Scott. So before we get into the meat of the show, let's watch the trailer and then we'll get to our review.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
So let's give a basic rundown of the story and then we'll get into some of our real commercials.
yes. Always have to shout out to our sponsors. Uh, Basic story. A space shuttle?
A space crew is out basically
Get a free
bringing home some
basketball
cargo to
signed
Earth.
by you.
They're basically a transport ship.
Yeah, and they're set to go back to Earth.
So they're asleep in like stasis.
Yeah. Wake up.
They get woken up by the ship.
Yeah. And then,
They're told that there's a signal from a planet.
well,
Or a
first
ship
of
or
all, they
whatever it
find
is.
out that they're not even close to Earth and that they went way off track.
Well, no, they're on their way back. They just got woke up way early.
Oh.
But the point is, they're not where they thought they would be when they woke up.
Okay. They get signal from a planet.
And it's their job in this future. They have to legally stop because there's this distress signal.
Okay.
And they find something on where they stopped.
Planet.
Yeah.
Egg.
So now, before we get into our facts about the movie, I wanted to give a shout out to our
Sponsors.
real sponsors because these things exist. Gory Story Time is brought to you by In Space, No One Can Hear I Scream. Ice cream. With such flavors as alien citric acid and vanilla fudge Ripley. That's In Space, No One Can Hear Ice Cream. Ask for it by name and look for it in your grocer's frozen aisle.
And by
Also by
Ridley Scott brand bathroom tissue. The only tissue that waits patiently until the right moment and then scares the crap off of you. That's Ridley Scott bathroom tissue. Ask for it by name.
All right. Now that we
It wasn't being
got that out of the
leg and
way.
slidey.
Stop, Chucky. No, Chucky. Would you like to start with some of the facts?
Sure. According to Yaphet Kodo Parker, Ridley Scott told him to annoy Sigourney Weaver off camera to add tension on the screen.
Interesting. The blue laser lights that were used in the alien ship's egg chamber, they were actually borrowed from the band The Who was testing lasers for their show on the soundstage next door.
Yeah. Conceptual artist Ron Cobb came up with the idea that the alien would bleed acid so that no one would just say, oh, why don't they just shoot it with a gun?
Yeah, because if it bleeds acid, that it shows go through the floor and the floor and the floor. Obviously, they don't want to splatter that.
Right.
To get Jones the cat to react in fear from the alien, they put a German Shepherd behind like this screen that it couldn't see through, waited until the cat came close, lifted the screen, the cat saw the German Shepherd, stopped in its tracks and hissed. They used that as its reaction to the alien.
Harrison Ford turned down the role of Captain Dallas.
Well, this was not long after the first Star Wars, so
A New Hope.
you could see why they would have.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's episode 4, but it was still the first one.
Yeah.
All right. Shredded condoms were used to create the tendons in the alien's jaws when it opened its mouth.
The chest bursting scene was in one take with 4 cameras. Only actor to know what was going to happen was the guy that actually had it happen to him with the chest bursting.
Everyone else's reaction is absolutely legitimate because they didn't
know.
They knew something was going to happen, but they didn't know what. The dead face hugger, which they call it, the ash autopsies, was made by using fresh shellfish, 4 oysters, and a sheep's kidney as its internal organs.
Ridley Scott cites 3 films as the shaping influences for Alien. They are Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, 2001, A Space Odyssey, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre for its treatment of horror.
So it took the horror element from that. That's kind of interesting. The inside of the alien eggs was also organic material, cattle hearts and stomachs, to give it a real feel and look, so it would look like it was something that could be alive and pulsing. It was made from cow
Things.
stomachs and things.
Yeah. The facehugger was supposed to be green, but Dan O'Bannon, seeing that it was the color it
Unpainted.
is, unpainted.
They call
thought
it flesh tone, even though that's
Yeah.
racist if you're not Caucasian.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that would be like, that's not my flesh. But they still call it flesh tone.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And he thought it was inventive to have it not be green like it was supposed to.
yeah, because all the alien movies and stuff, it's like, gotta make it green, gotta make them green. And it's like, he was like, why don't you make it flesh tone? That would be interesting. Leave it the color it is. Casting for Ripley came down to either Sigourney Weaver or Meryl Streep. Both actresses went to Yale together. It would have been very interesting to see Meryl Streep play that because she was supposed to have like a attractive body in some scenes where she's in her underwear, and Meryl Streep, she seems like she does classier films
Okay.
I don't know. It would have been different.
Bolaji
Bolaji.
Balaji Bad Badji
Let me
Bajo
see.
Bajo.
I don't know. It's like Balaji Badeo.
Okay, Balaji Badeo, who played the alien, was a graphic artist discovered at a bar by the casting directors because he was over 7 feet tall and was really skinny.
Yeah.
And skinny arms.
And basically,
Which
he
was
wasn't
perfect.
an actor at
Yeah,
all. And they
but
said,
it was perfect for the
we
alien costume.
need you to be the alien in our movie because you're tall and thin.
Yeah.
Basically. The creature is filmed in profile, not head on, so it would look less human. That's why all the close ups are the side of his head. Straight on, it does have a more human look. And we'll get into my thoughts on that at a later part of the show.
In H.G. Geiger's original illustrations, the creature had eyes, but for the movie, he insisted on no eyes to give it that bleak, emotionless, lifeless kind of look.
A copywriter, Barbara Gibbs, came up with the tagline for the movie, "In space, no one can hear you scream."
Many producers have hired readers for scripts. The reader in this case said it's like Jaws in space.
It kind of is. I can see that.
Yeah.
It's another movie that has like a slow build. We'll get into that too when we discuss in our feelings about the movie. The alien slime was KY jelly.
20th Century Fox doubled the budget from $4.2 million to $8.4 million because of the strength of the story.
The storyboards.
Yep.
The original cut of the film was 3 hours and 12 minutes.
Long movie.
Very much.
The chest bursting scene ranked the second scariest movie moment of all time on Bravo's 100 Scariest Moments.
Now, I don't watch Bravo, but that is interesting. There was a sex scene that was scripted between Dallas and Ripley, but it was never filmed. So let's get into how we feel about the movie. Well, first of all,
5 deaths.
Why?
Oh.
You jumped in the middle of me talking.
Yeah.
First of all, we haven't got into this in a little bit. We've missed it on some episodes. How many people died?
5.
Now you answer the question after it's asked, not at the beginning of the question. Anyway.
Not counting the robot or the alien.
True.
Yeah.
Well, we never count the bad guy, and we discussed last night, should we count the robot?
Which, it's not a person.
Which, by the way, is a spoiler. Until it shows it, nobody's supposed to know that it's a robot.
But
okay, so
if they're tuning in to watch a show...
Do you know that there are people that haven't seen this movie that might be interested in it? Joey, our producer out there, told me earlier he has never seen this show, or this movie. He's seen Predator, but he's never seen Alien.
There's no robot, Joey.
Yes, you're a dumbass.
Just a little.
Anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say this movie should be?
I'll say...
Oh, actually, let's do our favorite scenes and least favorite scenes, because we usually do that before we...
Yeah, we do.
Right? Yeah. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene isn't quite a scene, it's just the fact that it bleeds acid.
So it's just... Well, there is the scene where they discover that, and they run down floor after floor, and it's still dripping and, like, burning through. Like, it's
Which
that...
I thought it was just an awesome idea to have a creature that you can't wound.
Or it'll hurt you.
Or its wound will...
Kill you.
Kill you.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting thought. I'm going to have to go with the most obvious thing. The chest bursting scene. Like, I know everyone talks about it, but there's a reason why everyone talks about it. The reason is, it's an awesome scene.
Yeah.
And the fact that nobody but the one actor knew what was going to happen, so
makes it even better.
Like, so when you look at their faces, that fear is real. And of course, there's always the Spaceballs version of it, which I
Yeah.
won't get into because apparently Joey hasn't seen that either.
Joey,
I know.
watch things.
We do a movie review show. We need to give him homework for what movies he needs to watch.
Yeah, next week we're going to be doing this one and this one.
We're not doing Spaceballs because that doesn't
No.
really fit. No. What would your least favorite scene be?
My least favorite scene would have to be not quite a scene like my favorite, but the fact that she had to save the cat.
Well, she didn't have to. She chose to.
Yeah. Running for her life, she says, I have to bring the cat. No. The cat can die. I don't care about the cat. I want me to survive.
So you must love your pets.
She's pretty evil. Okay.
Our cat?
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean that. I'm just saying in general. You're supposed to love your pets and take
Yes,
care of them.
I love my pets, but
But in an
life-
emergency, they can die.
yes.
You're a horrible person. You are a horrible, horrible human being. That must come from your mother's side. Anyway, I'm going to say my least favorite scene is actually a scene because that's kind of what we're supposed to be doing at this part.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the part where she thought she was getting away and the alien comes back and she knocks it off and it floats down from one spot where she is down to like the base of the ship or whatever, and it falls and it just looks like a guy in a rubber suit. It looks so hokey. It falls so fake and looks like a dude wearing a helmet and a rubber suit. At no time during the movie did it look that fake until you just see him going, ah! And I'm like, really? Really? It was the worst possible bit. Just because it looked like crap. All right, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank Alien?
I would have to rank it a 9.
9?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and give it an 8. Not because it's not really good, because 8's still a good... It's just... There's some things that they could have done better, even at the time. Like that shot that I just described, like they could have done better even in 1979.
Yeah.
They just...
Yeah, I say 9 just because for how long it is, I think they spread out the suspense perfectly.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to mention is, can you imagine a movie coming out today that for the first, 3 minutes, nobody says anything. It doesn't show a person. It's just like...
Showing the ship.
Yeah, with just some basic sounds in the background.
And then there's
music.
a scene where they land on the planet. And it takes about 3 minutes for them to have a conversation and land the ship.
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely puts in the time of suspense for this show, for this movie. So I just don't think they could,
And
too
with the
many
way
people
it came
today.
out, I think it would
Too
have been
many people
awesome.
today would be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it's taken so long. This is so boring. This is so dull." It's like
Because that's how they acted with Paranormal Activity. Because they were all
It's
like,
like,
oh, we don't like it.
instead of the
It takes so
slow
long."
burn where it's like it builds up and builds up and builds up, now people are like, if they made Jurassic Park today, it's like, well, it better start with a raptor right on screen first thing,
Yeah, no.
which would kind of be stupid because you have to show how there would be a raptor,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I want to give a shout out to our actual sponsor. We get to rent some movies down at Final Cut Video here in Bellows Falls. They're on Westminster Street, right at the four-way intersection. They have a lot of movies to choose from. The new movies are on the wall, but the old movies, you just go in. There's like an iPad thing, and you can like search through
Yeah.
for what movies they have, and just let them know what you want, and they'll dig it out for you. It's a really cool system that they have.
We have a
Email address.
email address. Email us at gorystorytime@yahoo.com.
Correct.
Good feedback bad feedback.
Suggestions for movies.
Yeah.
You know, we've now done almost all of the movies that are in the intro to our show.
Almost.
Predator's the only one. That he's seen, by the way. He has seen Predator.
Yeah, but I can't see how, like, once I saw this, I instantly really wanted to see Predator.
Well, knowing that they have the Alien versus Predator ones, you want to kind of.
Well, yeah, but I saw
They
that.
they do set up the Alien versus Predator thing in Predator 2 because you see inside the Predator's ship, and inside there's a skull of the alien like hung up like a trophy, and that was kind of a like ah ha 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 kind of thing.
Kind of like
you know?
when Jason went to hell in that movie.
Yeah.
That had the Freddy glove at the end, grab his mask and pull it through.
Absolutely.
They do that in a lot of
But I
movies.
guess that's everything we had to say about aliens. So
First, I have to say Joey needs to watch movies. And I'm JT,
I'm Craig. This has been
Gory Story Time, and
and
Sweet
Sweet
Dreams.
Dreams.